Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Loni Anderson, Loni Anderson, who passed away recently at the age of 79, just days before her 80th birthday, was a beloved American actress best known for her iconic role as Jennifer Marlowe on the late 1970s to early 1980s CBS sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, 1978 to 1982. This role made her a household name and a television sex symbol of that era, earning her 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations for her performance as the glamorous and intelligent receptionist. Her portrayal balanced charm, wit, and beauty, making Jennifer Marlowe a standout character beloved by many viewers. Born and raised in Minnesota, Anderson initially studied art at the University of Minnesota, but shifted her focus fully to acting. Her early career was marked by minor roles and guest appearances on TV series like Phyllis, Policewoman, and SWAT before landing her breakthrough with WKRP in Cincinnati. The show's creator cast her after being impressed by her look, reminiscent of Jayne Mansfield's glamour fused with Marilyn Monroe's innocent sexuality, which perfectly suited the character. Besides WKRP, Anderson also worked in other television, movies, and series, including The Jayne Mansfield Story, 1980, Easy Street, and Nurses, along with guest roles on popular shows like The Love Boat and Fantasy Island. She also appeared in several films such as Stroker Ace, 1983, Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, 1998, and A Night at the Roxbury, 1998. That Anderson's personal life drew public attention, especially her high-profile marriage to actor Burt Reynolds, which lasted from 1988 to 1994. The couple was one of Hollywood's most talked-about pairs during their time together, with their relationship receiving much media coverage. Her career spanned over 4 decades with 6 television series, 7 feature films, and numerous TV movies and miniseries. Loni Anderson is remembered as a charismatic, talented actress whose iconic role and warm screen presence left a lasting impact on American television history. Kelley Mack, born Kelley Lynn Clebano on July 10, 1992, in Cincinnati, Ohio, was a talented American actress, producer, and filmmaker known for a versatile career that spanned television, film, and voiceover work. She began acting as a child, appearing in commercials for major brands such as Dr. Pepper, Ross Stores, Dairy Queen, and Chick-fil-A, which helped hone her presence and passion for storytelling early on. Mack's breakthrough acting role came with the character Addy in Season 9 of the acclaimed TV series The Walking Dead, 2018 to 2019, where she appeared in 5 episodes. She also had notable television roles as Penelope Jacobs in Chicago Med, Season 8, and guest appearances in 911. Her film credits include broadcast Signal Intrusion, 2021, where she played Alice, and she starred in the upcoming science fiction film Universal, 2025, which she also executive produced. In addition to live-action projects, Mack lent her voice to high-profile productions, including the Oscar-winning Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Beyond acting, Mack was deeply involved in filmmaking. She studied cinematography at Chapman University's Dodge College of Film and Media Arts and directed, wrote, produced, and edited several short films, including Positive, 2005, which garnered critical praise. She also worked as a cinematographer on The Kingdom, 2014. Her creative vision extended behind the camera, illustrating her wide-ranging talents in the entertainment industry. In January 2025, Mack was diagnosed with astrocytoma, a form of brain tumor, glioma, and despite undergoing proton radiation treatment, she passed away on August 2, 2025, in her hometown of Cincinnati at age 33. Her death was met with an outpouring of sorrow from fans and colleagues who described her as a gifted artist with a gentle spirit and a vibrant creative energy. Mack was survived by her family, including her younger brother, actor Parker Mack. Throughout her career, She accumulated 35 acting credits and 5 production credits, leaving behind a legacy of artistic dedication and a body of work that continues to inspire. Memorial services were held in Ohio and planned for Los Angeles to celebrate her life and career. Kelley Mack's story is one of early talent nurtured into a multifaceted career in front of and behind the camera, marked by her passion for storytelling and creative exploration across various media. Her contributions to television, film, and voice acting remain a testament to her artistic spirit and commitment to her craft. Alon Aboutboul. Alon Aboutboul, May 28, 1965 to July 29, 2025, was a distinguished Israeli actor and director celebrated for a prolific career spanning over 4 decades and more than 100 film and television projects both in Israel and internationally. Born in Kiryat Atta, Israel, to a Mizrahi Jewish family with roots in Egypt and Algeria, he graduated from the Thelma Yellin High School of Arts in Givatayim in 1983 and soon launched his acting career. Aboutboul first gained acclaim in Israeli cinema with his lead role in the 1986 war film 2 Fingers from Sidon, winning Best Actor at the Jerusalem Film Festival. He won the same award again for One of Us, Ehad Mishalanu, in 1989. Throughout the 1990s, he appeared mostly in low-budget action films, but his international profile rose significantly in the 2000s. Notably, he appeared in Steven Spielberg's Munich, 2005, Ridley Scott's Body of Lies, 2008, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Russell Crowe, and portrayed Dr. Leonid Pavel, a Russian scientist, in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises, 2012. He also featured as the antagonist Amir Barkawi in the action film London Has Fallen, 2016. That on American television, Aboutboul acted in acclaimed series such as NCIS, Fringe, The Mentalist, Burn Notice, Homeland, and had a recurring role as Avi Drexler in the FX series Snowfall from 2017 to 2022. He was known for his deep, resonant voice and commanding presence, which enabled him to bring depth and nuance to a wide range of characters. Aboutboul was also an active figure in Israeli theater, regularly performing at major venues such as the Habama Theater in Tel Aviv. Beyond acting, he ventured into reality TV, winning My Kitchen Rules VIP in 2024 and briefly entered politics by running for the Knesset on the Labour Party slate in 2006, publicly advocating against corruption. Tragically, Alon Aboutboul passed away suddenly at age 60 on July 29, 2025. He was found unresponsive after fainting on Dor Habanim Beach in northern Israel, and despite immediate medical efforts, he could not be revived. His death was widely mourned in Israel and the international film community. Israel's Minister of Culture and Sports Miki Zohar praised him as a cultural icon, emphasizing his passion and profound impact. He is survived by his wife Shir Bilia and their 4 children. Alon Aboutboul's legacy endures through his diverse body of work bridging Israeli and global cinema, his powerful performances, and his role as a respected artistic and cultural figure. Jeannie Seely. Jeannie Seely, born Marilyn Jean Seely, on July 6, 1940 to August 1, 2025, was a highly influential American country music singer, songwriter, record producer, and author. She was celebrated for her soulful vocal style that earned her the nickname Miss Country Soul. Seely gained widespread fame with her 1966 Grammy-winning hit, Don't Touch Me, which showcased her emotive delivery and helped redefine the image of women in country music during the 1960s. She was known for pushing boundaries both musically and stylistically, famously wearing miniskirts on the Grand Ole Opry stage when it was still taboo to do so. Seely's career spanned over 7 decades. She was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry in 1967 and became the first woman to regularly host segments of the show. Remarkably, she holds the record for the most appearances on the Opry stage, with over 5,397 performances from May 1966 through her 57 years as a member. She was also part of one of country music's most successful duos with Jack Green, scoring hits like Wish I Didn't Have to Miss You. Beyond her singing career, Seely was a respected songwriter whose works were recorded by legends like Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, and Dottie West. She won numerous accolades, including the Most Promising Female Artist Award early in her career, induction into the Music City Walk of Fame, and special honors like the Joe Talbot Award and the Standing Ovation Award, which was later named in her honor. Born and raised in Titusville, Pennsylvania, Seely's early passion for country music was nurtured on local radio and TV. She initially worked in the banking industry and then in California's record business before moving to Nashville to launch her recording career. Seely passed away at age 85 from an intestinal infection in a Nashville hospital, leaving behind a profound legacy as a trailblazer, mentor, and beloved figure in country music. Her career helped transform the portrayal of women in country music, and she will be remembered as a true legend and icon who brought soul, power, and authenticity to the genre. Cleo Laine. Dame Cleo Laine, a renowned British jazz singer and actress, passed away at the age of 97 on July 24, 2025. She was celebrated for her distinctive smoky contralto voice, which spanned an impressive 4 octaves, exceptional scat singing, and a versatile repertoire that crossed jazz, pop, classical, and musical theater. Born Clementine Dinah Hitching in 1927 in London to an English mother and Jamaican father, Laine began her career in the early 1950s when she joined her future husband Sir John Dankworth's band. Her stage name was creatively chosen by the band to replace her given longer name. She and Dankworth married in 1958 and became a prominent couple within the jazz world, touring the globe and collaborating with legendary artists such as Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and Oscar Peterson. Laine was the first British jazz singer to win a Grammy Award, recognition she received in 1986 for Best Jazz Vocal Performance. She was also nominated for a Tony Award for her acclaimed Broadway role as Puffer in The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Beyond singing, she acted in several films and operas, showcasing her broad artistic talents. Together with her late husband, she founded The Stables, a music and arts venue in Buckinghamshire, dedicated to music education, which issued a statement mourning her loss and celebrating her legacy. She is survived by her children, including singers Jackie Dankworth and Alec Dankworth. Dame Cleo Laine's legacy is marked by her extraordinary vocal range, genre-crossing artistry, and lifelong dedication to music and performance. She is widely regarded as one of Britain's greatest jazz vocalists and a national treasure, whose influence extended beyond the jazz world. David Roach. Jeannie Seely, July 6, 1940 to August 1, 2025, was a highly influential American country music singer, songwriter, record producer, and author, affectionately known as Miss Country Soul for her soulful vocal style. She is best remembered for her Grammy Award-winning breakthrough hit, Don't Touch Me, 1966, which rose to number 2 on the U.S. country charts, crossed over to the mainstream Hot 100, and became a country music standard. This emotive ballad, emphasizing emotional dedication over physical connection, showcased Seely's deep expressive capacity and established her as a formidable vocalist during the peak of the classic Nashville sound era. Seely's career spanned over 7 decades, during which she appeared more times on the Grand Ole Opry stage than any other performer. Over 5,397 performances from 1966 through 2023, highlighting her enduring presence and popularity in country music. She joined the Grand Ole Opry in 1967, an event she recalls with great emotion. The show was then held at the iconic Ryman Auditorium, known as the Mother Church of Country Music. Seely was also the first woman to regularly host segments on the Opry, breaking gender barriers in country music broadcasting. Her contribution includes over 24 singles charting on the Billboard country charts between 1966 and the late 1970s. Notable hits following her breakthrough included A Wanderin' Man, I'll Love You More, He Can Be Mine, Welcome Home to Nothing, and Can I Sleep in Your Arms? All of which showcased her signature torch song style and storytelling artistry. Her albums The Seely Style and Thanks, Hank, consisting of songs written by her husband Hank Cochran, were commercially successful and helped cement her influence. In the genre, Seely was widely praised not just for her vocal power, but her ability to imbue songs with heartfelt emotion and authenticity. Country legend Marty Robbins described her as one of the great stylists of our time, while Ernest Tubb complimented her soulfulness, noting that when Jeannie sings a song, it becomes Jeannie's song. Throughout her career, Seely received several major accolades. 1967 Grammy Award for Best Country and Western Female Vocal Performance for Don't Touch Me. Multiple nominations from the Country Music Association and Music Magazine's induction into the Grand Ole Opry, 1967. And the Music City Walk of Fame, the 2023 Joe Talbot Award recognizing her contributions to country music beyond music. She was a trailblazer in fashion and presentation on Opry stages, famously challenging conservative norms by wearing miniskirts during a time they were taboo for female performers, contributing to a more modern image of women in country music. Jeannie Seely passed away at age 85 in August 2025 due to an intestinal infection. Her death was widely mourned across country music circles, honoring her not only as a gifted vocalist and songwriter, but also as a pioneering spirit who reshaped the portrayal and role of women in country music. Her legacy remains in her timeless recordings, profound influence on fellow artists, and relentless dedication to the Grand Ole Opry, making her one of the most beloved and enduring figures in American country music history. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell was born on October 7, 1959 in Lambeth, London, England, into a family that would unknowingly shape one of the most influential figures in modern entertainment. His father, Eric Selig Philip Cowell, was a music industry executive and estate agent who worked for EMI Music Publishing, while his mother, Julie Brett, was a former ballet dancer and socialite. This unique combination of artistic sensibility and business acumen would prove prophetic in Simon's later career trajectory. Growing up in the affluent suburb of Hertfordshire, Simon was the second of 4 children. His early years were marked by privilege, but also by the high expectations that came with his family's social standing. The Cowell household was one where success was not just encouraged, but expected, and this environment would instill in Simon both the drive to succeed and the thick skin necessary to handle criticism and rejection. As a child, Simon displayed an early fascination with entertainment and music, though not necessarily in the ways his parents might have expected. He was known to be precocious and somewhat rebellious, often challenging authority figures and showing little patience for traditional academic pursuits. His teachers frequently described him as intelligent but unmotivated, a student who seemed more interested in understanding how things worked behind the scenes rather than memorizing facts and figures. The influence of his father's work in the music industry cannot be overstated. Eric Cowell's position at EMI meant that the family home was often filled with discussions about artists, contracts, and the business side of entertainment. Young Simon absorbed these conversations like a sponge, developing an early understanding of the commercial aspects of the music world that would later prove invaluable. He learned that success in entertainment wasn't just about talent. It was about marketability, timing, and understanding what audiences wanted. Simon's relationship with his parents was complex but foundational. His father represented the business-minded, pragmatic approach to life, while his mother brought creativity and an appreciation for performance. This duality would become a defining characteristic of Simon's personality, the ability to appreciate artistic merit while never losing sight of commercial viability. School life proved challenging for the young Cow. He attended Radlett Preparatory School and later Dover College, but his academic performance was consistently underwhelming. Teachers noted his intelligence, but were frustrated by his apparent lack of interest in traditional subjects. Simon himself would later admit that he found school boring and irrelevant to his interests. He was more drawn to understanding people, psychology, and the entertainment world than to mathematics or literature. The rebellious streak that would later serve him well in challenging industry norms was evident from an early age. Simon frequently clashed with authority figures and showed little respect for rules he deemed arbitrary or pointless. This wasn't malicious rebellion, but rather a manifestation of his independent thinking and his early recognition that conventional paths might not be right for him. During his teenage years, Simon's interest in music and entertainment intensified. He spent countless hours listening to records, analyzing what made certain songs successful while others failed. He developed an almost intuitive understanding of popular taste, learning to identify the elements that would appeal to mass audiences. This wasn't just casual listening. It was the beginning of his education in entertainment psychology. The Cowell family's social connections provided Simon with early exposure to industry professionals. Family gatherings often included discussions about the music business, and Simon was an eager listener. He learned about artist development, marketing strategies, and the importance of image and presentation. These informal lessons would prove more valuable than any formal education he received. Despite his academic struggles, Simon's parents recognized his potential and his passion for the entertainment industry. They understood that their son's path might be different from the conventional route, and they were supportive of his interests. Even when his school performance suggested otherwise, this family support would prove crucial during the difficult early years of his career. By the time he reached his late teens, Simon had already begun to formulate ideas about how the entertainment industry could be improved. He saw inefficiencies and missed opportunities everywhere he looked. His critical eye, which would later make him famous as a judge, was already developing. He wasn't content to simply consume entertainment. He wanted to understand it, improve it, and ultimately control it. The foundation laid during these childhood and teenage years, the exposure to industry knowledge, the development of commercial instincts, the rebellious independence, and the supportive family environment would prove essential to Simon Cowell's later success. These early experiences shaped not just his career trajectory, but his entire worldview about entertainment success and the importance of understanding what audiences truly want. Simon Cowell's transformation from music industry executive to global television phenomenon began with a calculated risk that would revolutionize reality television forever. His journey into television success wasn't accidental, but rather the natural evolution of his understanding of entertainment psychology and his ability to create compelling, commercially viable content that resonated with mass audiences worldwide. The genesis of Cowell's television empire can be traced back to his work with Pop Idol in the early 2000s. As a judge on this British talent show, Simon displayed the brutally honest commentary style that would become his trademark. His willingness to deliver harsh but often accurate critiques set him apart from other judges who preferred diplomatic responses. This approach wasn't cruelty for its own sake, but rather a reflection of his deep understanding that authenticity, even when uncomfortable, creates more compelling television than polite pleasantries. American Idol marked Simon's explosive entry into the American television landscape. When the show premiered in 2002, it quickly became a cultural phenomenon, and Simon's role as the mean judge made him both the most hated and most watched personality on television. His sharp tongue and unflinching honesty created appointment television, with viewers tuning in as much to hear his cutting remarks as to discover new talent. The show's success was unprecedented, regularly drawing over 30 million viewers and becoming one of the most profitable franchises in television history. Simon's genius lay not just in his ability to spot talent, but in his understanding of television as a medium. He recognized that conflict, drama, and emotional investment were the keys to sustained audience engagement. His interactions with contestants weren't just about musical ability. They were about creating moments that would be discussed, replayed, and remembered. He understood that television success required more than just good singers. It needed personalities, stories, and drama that would keep audiences coming back week after week. The success of American Idol led to Simon's expansion into other formats, most notably The X Factor. This show represented his evolution as a television creator, not just a personality. The X Factor was Simon's vision of the perfect talent show, one that combined the best elements of American Idol with additional drama through mentorship, team competition, and higher stakes. The show's format, which Simon developed and owned, became a global franchise, adapted in dozens of countries and generating hundreds of millions in revenue. Britain's Got Talent and later America's Got Talent represented Simon's recognition that talent shows could expand beyond singing. These variety format shows allowed for a broader range of performers and created even more dramatic and unpredictable television moments. Simon's role evolved from just being a judge to being an executive producer and creative force behind the show's success. His ability to identify what would work on television extended beyond individual acts to entire show formats and production elements. The financial success of these shows was staggering. Simon's company, Psycho Entertainment, became a powerhouse in the television industry, with his shows generating billions in revenue through advertising, international format sales, music sales from winners, and merchandise. His understanding of the business side of television allowed him to negotiate deals that gave him not just appearance fees, but ownership stakes and profit participation that created long-term wealth. Simon's television success also revolutionized the music industry's relationship with television. His shows became launching pads for recording careers, with winners and even notable contestants often securing recording contracts and achieving commercial success. Acts like Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, One Direction, and Susan Boyle owe their careers to Simon's television platforms. This symbiotic relationship between television success and music industry profits became a template that other producers tried to replicate. The international expansion of Simon's formats demonstrated his understanding of universal entertainment principles. While the specific cultural details might vary, his show's core appeal, the combination of talent, dreams, drama, and honest judgment, translated across cultural boundaries. The X Factor and Got Talent franchises became global phenomena, with local versions maintaining the essential elements that made the original format successful while adapting to local tastes and preferences. Simon's evolution as a television personality was equally important to his show's success. While maintaining his reputation for harsh honesty, he gradually showed more warmth and vulnerability, particularly when dealing with younger contestants or those with compelling personal stories. This evolution made him more relatable while maintaining the authenticity that had made him famous. He learned to balance his role as the tough judge with moments of genuine emotion and encouragement. The technological evolution of television also played to Simon's advantages. The rise of social media created new opportunities for his shows to generate buzz and engagement beyond the traditional broadcast. Memorable moments from his shows became viral content, extending their reach and cultural impact far beyond their initial television audiences. Simon understood and leveraged these new platforms to maintain his show's relevance in an increasingly fragmented media landscape. His success in television also allowed Simon to influence the broader entertainment industry. His opinions about talent, his predictions about careers, and his business decisions carried weight throughout Hollywood and the music industry. He became not just a television personality, but an industry kingmaker whose endorsement could launch careers and whose criticism could end them. The legacy of Simon's television success extends beyond individual shows or personalities. He fundamentally changed how talent competitions are structured, how judges interact with contestants, and how television can serve as a bridge between unknown performers and mainstream success. His influence can be seen in virtually every talent show that followed, with producers trying to recreate the magic formula of honest criticism, emotional investment, and commercial viability that made his shows cultural phenomena. Simon Cowell's journey through various health challenges has been as dramatic and closely scrutinized as his television career, revealing a more vulnerable side of the entertainment mogul who had always projected an image of invincibility. His health struggles have not only impacted his personal life, but have also influenced his professional decisions and provided moments of genuine human connection with his audiences worldwide. The most significant and public health crisis in Simon's life occurred in August 2020 when he suffered a severe back injury that would fundamentally change his perspective on health, mortality, and the importance of physical well-being. While testing a new electric bicycle at his home in Malibu, Simon fell and broke his back in multiple places, requiring immediate emergency surgery and a lengthy recovery period. The accident was so severe that doctors initially weren't certain about the extent of permanent damage or his ability to walk normally again. The spinal injury required the insertion of a metal rod and multiple screws to stabilize his spine, representing not just a physical challenge, but a psychological one for someone accustomed to being in complete control of his environment. The recovery process was grueling, involving months of physical therapy, pain management, and the humbling experience of having to relearn basic movements and activities that he had always taken for granted. This period of vulnerability was particularly difficult for someone whose public persona had always been built around strength and decisive authority. Prior to this major accident, Simon had already been dealing with various health concerns that reflected both his high-stress lifestyle and his advancing age. His demanding work schedule, which often involved long days of filming, extensive travel between different international versions of his shows, and the constant pressure of maintaining multiple successful television franchises had taken a cumulative toll on his physical health. The entertainment industry's notorious pace and the expectations placed on high-profile personalities created a perfect storm of stress-related health issues. Simon's struggles with maintaining a healthy work-life balance became more apparent as he entered his 60s. The relentless schedule of production meetings, filming sessions, and international travel required for managing a global entertainment empire began to show physical manifestations that he experienced periods of exhaustion that went beyond normal tiredness, indicating that his body was struggling to keep up with the demands he was placing on it. The back injury also brought attention to Simon's previous health scares and ongoing challenges with maintaining physical fitness. Despite having access to the best medical care and personal trainers, the sedentary nature of his work, spending long hours sitting in judges' chairs and in meeting rooms had contributed to various musculoskeletal problems over the years. The dramatic bicycle accident was the culmination of years of accumulated physical stress and insufficient attention to preventive care. During his recovery period, Simon became more open about discussing the mental health aspects of dealing with serious injury and the fear of permanent disability. For someone whose career depended on projecting confidence and authority, the experience of being physically vulnerable and dependent on others for basic care was profoundly challenging. That he spoke candidly about moments of depression and anxiety during his recovery, providing a rare glimpse into the emotional struggles that successful public figures often face privately. The injury also forced Simon to confront his own mortality in ways he had previously avoided. At an age when many people began to seriously consider retirement, Simon had been operating as if he could maintain his intense pace indefinitely. The accident served as a stark reminder that physical limitations are real and that even the most successful careers can be interrupted by health crises beyond anyone's control. Simon's approach to his recovery revealed both his determination and his willingness to adapt when faced with unavoidable circumstances. Rather than attempting to rush back to his full schedule, he took medical advice seriously and committed to a proper rehabilitation process. This represented a significant shift for someone known for his impatience and desire to control every aspect of his professional life. The health crisis also impacted Simon's television commitments and business operations. His absence from live shows during recovery required adjustments to production schedules and highlighted how central his personal involvement was to the success of his entertainment empire. This period demonstrated both the strengths and vulnerabilities of building a business so closely tied to one individual's personal participation. Throughout his recovery, Simon became an advocate for bike safety and spoke about the importance of taking health seriously regardless of age or previous physical condition. His willingness to discuss his vulnerability publicly helped humanize a figure who had often been perceived as invulnerable and provided valuable lessons about the importance of preventive care and realistic assessment of physical limitations. The experience also led to changes in Simon's lifestyle and priorities. He began paying more attention to physical therapy, regular medical checkups, and the importance of maintaining physical strength and flexibility. The injury served as a wake-up call about the need to balance professional ambitions with personal health and well-being. Simon's health journey continued to be a subject of public interest and personal challenge as he navigated the ongoing effects of his injury while attempting to maintain his professional commitments. His openness about these struggles provided a more complete picture of the man behind the television persona and demonstrated that even the most successful individuals must confront the realities of aging and physical vulnerability. The personal losses that Simon Cowell has endured throughout his life have profoundly shaped his character and provided depth to a public figure often perceived solely through the lens of his professional success. These experiences with grief, loss, and family tragedy have revealed the more human aspects of his personality and influenced his relationships, both personal and professional, in ways that extend far beyond what the public typically sees. The most devastating loss in Simon's life was the death of his beloved mother, Julie Brett Cowell, in July 2015. Julie had been not just a parent, but Simon's closest confidant, biggest supporter, and most trusted advisor throughout his entire career. Her influence on his life extended far beyond the typical mother-son relationship, as she had been actively involved in his professional decisions and served as his emotional anchor during the most challenging periods of his career. The loss of this central figure in his life left a void that fundamentally changed Simon's perspective on family, relationships, and what truly mattered in life. Julie Cowell's death came after a period of declining health, during which Simon had become increasingly aware of his mother's mortality and had made efforts to spend more quality time with her. Despite his demanding international schedule, he had prioritized being present during her final months, recognizing that no professional success could compensate for missing these precious final moments with the person who had been his greatest source of unconditional love and support throughout his life. The grief that followed his mother's passing was profound and long-lasting. Simon, who had always been intensely private about his personal emotions, found himself struggling with a level of sadness and loss that he had never previously experienced. Friends and colleagues noted a visible change in his demeanor during this period, observing moments of vulnerability that were rarely seen from someone known for his emotional control and professional composure. Julie's influence on Simon's life had been immeasurable. She had been the one who encouraged his early interest in the entertainment industry, supported him through the difficult early years of his career when success seemed uncertain, and celebrated his achievements without ever letting them change her fundamental love and support for her son as a person rather than as a celebrity. Her death meant the loss of the one person who knew him completely and loved him unconditionally, regardless of his professional success or public image. The impact of his mother's death extended into Simon's professional life as well. Those close to him observed that he became more emotionally available and empathetic, particularly when dealing with younger contestants on his shows, who reminded him of the vulnerability that comes with pursuing dreams in the entertainment industry. His interactions with families on his shows took on a deeper resonance as he understood more personally the importance of family support and the pain of potential loss. Beyond his mother's death, Simon has also experienced the loss of close friends and colleagues within the entertainment industry. The death of his friend and fellow music executive and various other industry colleagues over the years reminded him of the temporary nature of all relationships and success. These losses contributed to a growing awareness of mortality that influenced his decisions about how to spend his time and energy. The loss of beloved pets has also been a source of genuine grief for Simon. His deep love for his dogs, particularly his Yorkshire Terriers, has been well documented, and the death of these cherished companions has caused him considerable emotional pain. While some might view pet loss as less significant than human loss, for Simon, these animals had been constant companions through various life changes and professional challenges, making their deaths genuinely traumatic experiences. Simon's relationship with loss has been complicated by his public profile and the expectation that celebrities should maintain composure and continue working regardless of personal tragedy. The pressure to maintain his professional commitments, while processing grief, privately created additional stress and emotional complexity during these difficult periods. The entertainment industry's relentless pace meant that there was little time for extended mourning or processing of loss. The experience of significant personal loss also influenced Simon's approach to his own relationships and family life. The death of his mother made him more aware of the importance of creating meaningful connections and not taking relationships for granted. This realization played a role in his increased commitment to his relationship with Lauren Silverman and his role as a father to their son Eric, named in honor of Simon's late father. Processing grief also led Simon to develop a deeper appreciation for the present moment and the people currently in his life. Friends noted that he became more generous with his time and more expressive about his feelings toward those he cared about. The experience of loss taught him that success and wealth, while valuable, could not protect against the fundamental human experiences of grief and mortality. The cumulative effect of these losses has been to add depth and emotional complexity to Simon's character that wasn't always apparent in his public persona. While he maintained his professional reputation for directness and high standards, those close to him observed increased empathy and emotional awareness that enriched his personal relationships and added nuance to his professional interactions. These experiences with loss have also influenced Simon's perspective on legacy and what he wants to be remembered for beyond his professional achievements. The deaths of people he loved reminded him that ultimately relationships and personal connections matter more than professional accolades, leading to subtle but meaningful changes in how he prioritized his time and energy. Today, Simon Cowell represents a fascinating study in evolution and adaptation. Having transformed from the ruthless entertainment mogul of his earlier years into a more nuanced figure who balances continued professional success with personal fulfillment and family responsibilities. His current life reflects the wisdom gained through decades of experience, health challenges, personal losses, and the profound changes that come with becoming a father later in life. At the center of Simon's contemporary existence is his role as a father to Eric Cowell, born in February 2014. Named after Simon's late father, Eric has become the defining relationship of Simon's later years, fundamentally altering his priorities and providing him with a new perspective on what constitutes true success and happiness. The transformation from confirmed bachelor to devoted father has been one of the most remarkable aspects of Simon's personal evolution, demonstrating a capacity for change and growth that surprised even those closest to him. Simon's relationship with Lauren Silverman has provided stability and emotional grounding that had been missing from his earlier relationships. Their partnership, which began controversially but has evolved into a solid family foundation, represents Simon's first serious commitment to building a traditional family structure. Lauren's influence has been particularly notable in encouraging Simon to be more present and engaged in day-to-day family life rather than being consumed entirely by professional obligations. Professionally, Simon continues to maintain his entertainment empire while adapting to changing industry landscapes and evolving audience preferences. His production company, Psycho Entertainment, remains a significant force in television production. Though Simon has become more selective about projects and more focused on quality over quantity, the success of America's Got Talent, where he continues to serve as both judge and executive producer, demonstrates his ability to remain relevant and influential in an increasingly competitive entertainment market. The impact of his back injury continues to influence Simon's daily routine and professional choices. While he has made a remarkable recovery, the experience taught him valuable lessons about physical limitations and the importance of sustainable work practices. He now incorporates regular physical therapy into his schedule, pays closer attention to ergonomics during long filming sessions, and has become more conscious of maintaining his physical health as a prerequisite for continued professional success. Simon's current lifestyle reflects a more balanced approach to work and personal life than was evident in his earlier years. While still maintaining high standards and demanding schedules, he has learned to delegate more effectively and has created boundaries that allow for family time and personal recuperation. This evolution represents not a lessening of ambition, but a more mature understanding of how to sustain success over the long term. The technological evolution of the entertainment industry has required Simon to adapt his approaches while maintaining his core strengths. Social media, streaming platforms, and changing viewing habits have transformed how audiences consume entertainment, and Simon has shown remarkable agility in adapting his formats and production techniques to remain relevant in this new landscape. His shows continue to generate significant social media engagement, demonstrating his understanding of how to create content that works across multiple platforms. Simon's current business philosophy reflects lessons learned through decades of experience and various personal challenges. He has become more collaborative in his approach, more willing to share creative control with talented partners, and more focused on sustainable business practices that can continue regardless of his personal involvement. This represents a significant evolution from his earlier years when he maintained tight control over every aspect of his projects. The influence of fatherhood on Simon's professional decisions has been profound and visible. He has become more conscious of the messages his shows send to younger viewers, more supportive of family-friendly content, and more aware of the impact that entertainment can have on developing minds. This hasn't meant abandoning his commitment to honest feedback, but rather contextualizing that honesty within a framework that considers the broader implications of public criticism. Simon's relationship with his extended family has also evolved with his role as father, creating new connections and deepening existing relationships. His commitment to ensuring that Eric knows and appreciates his family heritage has led to increased involvement with relatives and a greater appreciation for family traditions and history. This represents a significant change for someone who had previously been somewhat distant from extended family obligations. Philanthropically, Simon has become more involved in charitable causes, particularly those related to children and animal welfare. His love for dogs has translated into support for animal rescue organizations. While his experience as a father has increased his commitment to children's charities, these activities represent more than just celebrity philanthropy. They reflect genuine personal commitments that align with his values and life experiences. Looking toward the future, Simon appears to be planning for continued professional involvement while ensuring that his family remains his primary priority. He has spoken about wanting to be present for Eric's childhood and adolescence in ways that his own demanding career might not have previously allowed.